The year is 1952. You are a businessman on a trip to home from a successful meeting with a partner company on the day before. You are driving through the early morning in Yuma City, Arizona. In your pocket lays a ticket booked in a recently expanded airline called Bonanza. You arrive at the airport, park your rented car and walk to the terminal building, watching through the fence the shining new converted C-47 and DC-3 parked waiting for you. Air travel booms and prices are becoming a lot more affordable. You stand there looking forward to return to home and meet your family. Hello, welcome to this video. I'm Vlad and I will be your pilot today. On this video, we will be experiencing an airline flight from the time when the jet era hadn't yet started in full swing and the skies were conquered by planes like the Boeing Stratocruiser, DC-6, Super Constellation, and of course, the one we'll take today, the famous DC-3, or one called C-47, which could be converted to different configurations depending on demand. Our flight today is a real-world flight that was operated by Bonanza Airlines and is flight number 22, taking us from Yuma to Phoenix, Arizona. The flight time expected is of 1 hour and the aircraft is already loaded up with 2,600 kilos of payload and 890 kilos of fuel, placing a total sum of 11,400 kilos, very near the maximum allowable takeoff weight. Let's go inside and start the flight. So, starting from the overhead, we have the no smoking sign on, cabin lights are on, navigation on, P2 heat is off, and we are now on external power. So I'm going to go ahead, switch on the inverter, the radio master. On the right side, we check magnetors are off, starters off, primers off, fuel pumps off, and generators are off. We can leave the generators on for the moment. And we will start to plan the navigation. So, funny enough, we will be doing a modern SID, standard departure. We'll use runway 26 here out of Yuma. And I'm going to use two radio navigation aids, which is the BARD VORTAG, Bravo Zulu Alpha, which the frequency is 116.8. It's already set in, and the SID says that we climb straight ahead until 800, and then we turn right direct to it, and finally we fly the radial 075 until 32 DME. Which is the Mohawk point, because this is the Mohawk 5 departure, and then we can turn left into Gila Bend. From Gila Bend we fly direct to the VOR, and we fly the outbound radial of 017 to intercept the ILS for runway 07 right into Phoenix. With me today is my friend Emil. He's on Delta Airlines DC-3 on our right side, but he's flying for Bonanza as well today. As the fuel is in, we're going to fasten the seatbelt switch on. We're going to start the beacon. And I'm going to tell Emil here that, well, Emil, I will start the engines now. I'm going to go ahead to the battery power. Generators are already on. Magneto to the right, forward. Fuel forward, props are forward, throttle to 1/4 open. Let's select the fuel tanks. So left wing, left main, right wing, right main. Check. Let's go and start with the right engine, right fuel pump on. Hit the primer for a second. And we're gonna hit the starter. Oil pressure is good. We have a good start. Oil pressure is good. That was a good start. Fuel pump off. Gens are on. This is all good. Inverter radio was already on, so that's cool. And taxi light on. Okay, so we're ready for takeoff. All lights are on, pitot heat is on, passengers all good, fuel pumps coming on, mixture full forward, props full forward, transponder is already on, and just a quick rebrief, so we fly straight ahead till 800 feet, and then we turn right direct to the vortex. Check again the compass. As you can see, it drifts quite a lot, so this is one of the things you have to always pay attention with this aircraft. And we're ready to go. This may look like quite short runway, but it will be perfectly fine for this aircraft, as you will see. We're flaps up. Let's go add some power. And we are looking at 2,700 RPM. Check the manifold pressure. Don't want to blow the engines. Let the nose go. Airspeed is alive. 75. Rotate. Positive climb. Gear coming up. Let's reduce the manifold pressure to the green zone. And let's reduce the RPM. 2,500. There we go. That's 800 feet. Turning right. Fly direct to the vortex. 5 miles to go. Trim it nicely. Amps are good. Let it fly itself. Taxi lights off. Landing lights off. Okay, we have reached our cruise level, 9,000 feet. Now we move the prop back to 2,000 and we lean the engines just like on the Cessna. So we are watching for peak EGT temperature right here. Okay, nope. Recover that. Alright, so right about here should be peak. I'm gonna leave it like this. All is set, we're flying good, 150 knots. Now I want to do a direct to our next point, which is vortex of Gila Bend. So 116.6, let's do it. There is just not enough attention given on the importance that this airplane had for the airline world that we know as today. Created to fulfill the requirements of one very big airline at the time, it ended up being as one of the most successful designs ever made over the world. Just to give you an idea, the sum of all variants built of the DC-3, especially due to its major role in the military, with active participation in war campaigns and serving in the Air Force until its retirement in 2008, a total number of over 16,000 units were built. Some of them still fly. Compare this with Airbus, which in October of this year reached 11,000 A320s family aircraft built. This aircraft allowed profitable airline business, a more flexible type of flight due to its long range and less need to refuel. Coupling this with very sturdy mechanical characteristics, allowing it to work in harsh conditions, it was a true workhorse. Workhorse, but not a brute one. Its soundproofing was news, having reporters say that passengers can now talk to each other without shouting. It really was a technological advance for its time. We're now cruising at 9,000 feet, as this aircraft is not pressurized. Looking at its paint, I had my curiosities. I never knew about this airline. Founded in 1945 and initially based in Las Vegas, it was known as Bonanza Air Services and operated Cessna T-50s on local services. It expanded in 1951 with DC-3s and a new base in Phoenix. It later operated Fairchild's F-27s and DC-9s until dissolving in 1961 by merging with Pacific Airlines and West Coast Airlines to form Air West. On this hand, Air West was renamed Hugs Air West in 1970 and later acquired by Republic Airlines in 1980, and then being bought by Northwest and finally merged with Delta that we know today. It's really interesting to see how the airlines can progress, merge, live and die in this constant flow of people and cargo and overall money. I learned a lot with such a small thing as discovering this aircraft on the simulator and researching more about it. I want to make a different video sometime in the future with this same plane, but this time painted with TWA colors, and TWA being one of the biggest names of the airline world and the main culprit of the existence of the DC-3. But that story is for another time. Hey ladies and gentlemen, situations update. We are flying outbound of the VORTAC Gila Bend on a radial of 017. We have to fly around 37 miles and then we should intercept the localizer for the ILS-07 right. In case that doesn't work, we'll just shoot a visual approach. Everything is looking good, flight is going great and the aircraft is flying beautifully as well. Yeah, let's continue the journey. Disconnect the autopilot. Let's fly a bit. There is the needle. It's alive. I can barely see the runway, but the needles are going there. Now we should start descending onto the path. Gyro looks good. Start to turn, start descending. And there we go, we're looking for 078. 080, the runner should be straight ahead, slightly above. Let's reduce the power, gear down. Start decreasing the speed. Adding flaps. And flaps full. I'm gonna look for 90 knots. And that's a nice landing. Ups are up. Okay, pitot heat off, landing light off, anti-collision off, fuel pumps off. We stopped, parking brakes set, taxi lights off. Let's switch everything we don't need. Fuel pumps are off, this is good, generators set. And we're gonna shut down the engines. Transponder off, inverted radio master, cabin lights off, fasten seatbelt signs off, beacon light off. Switch off the magnetos, generators off, and I guess that's it. Brakes are set, close the fuel selectors on both sides to off. There we go, fuel cut off, that's good, that's good. Props are forward. Yeah, welcome to Phoenix. Well guys, that's been it. Hope you enjoyed this little different video. Sorry I forgot to do the arrival briefing, because this aircraft is actually really workload heavy, so you kind of tend to forget things on the go. Thank you Emil for coming as well. You gave us a little of that extra vintage blast from the past feel, because well, there was another aircraft, another DC-3 or C-47 flying around. And that's really cool. I will eventually do a stream with this aircraft, so you guys can see from beginning to end how is the workload, how to manage it, what are the things that you need to pay attention to. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye.